already know that he has speed, he's got power. I know he's moving up in weight class, can he carry it? But those intangibles, I believe that he has them.
Look at, and then Canelo's older. Crawford has the ability, but he's small, and he can look bigger in. Crawford could look bigger in the weigh-ins and all that stuff, but it's always a difference. When you get that fight with somebody, you can tell. Same thing with Jamel. Jamel fought him, the twin. He fought Crawford, and in all the stuff, the weigh-ins and the press conference.
Too fast and too smart for Canelo. Even Canelo is a good boxer. I'm not saying like nothing from not taking nothing from Canelo.
Canelo versus Crawford is being hailed as the biggest fight of the year, and Teddy Atlas has shared his honest breakdown. Atlas believes Terence Crawford has what it takes to win, regardless of weight class, praising his skills, discipline, and adaptability. He argues that Canelo Álvarez is no longer the fighter he once was, claiming the Mexican superstar has lost the hunger and fire that made him great. According to Atlas, Canelo's recent performances show signs of decline, and he even considers him overrated compared to Crawford. In Atlas's view, Crawford's sharpness and drive make him the favorite to win.
The urgency's not there. The fire's not there. At least it wasn't there a week ago. At least I say that. It wasn't there a week ago. Maybe it'll be there now. Maybe he's the kind of guy that, and I get it, that at this point in their career, it has to be a big fight to get up. That Canelo can't get up for these fights. He couldn't get up for that fight. All right. If you want to go down that road, go ahead. But my road is still possible. That he got old, that it just doesn't have that fire no more. Oh my God, I'm going to say this one. That maybe he's a little overrated. I listen, I know he's tremendous. He's tremendous. But could he be a tiny bit overrated? If you look at some of his biggest fights, the fights where you had to be great to win, that you fought great fighters or near great fighters, you can make the argument that he lost the first Triple G. He didn't embarrass himself, but he got a draw. Second one, you can make the argument he lost that. I know it was a different kind of fight, and he got better. But you can make that. You can make the argument he lost to Lara. He did lose to Mayweather. You can make the argument it was too young in his career. Maybe. Although it wasn't that young. He turned pro when he was 15 or 16.
Mean Machine, a fighter who has shared the ring with Terence Crawford, strongly believes that size will not determine the outcome of Crawford's clash with Canelo Álvarez. He argues that Crawford's skill set is far superior and that his intelligence inside the ring makes him too smart for Canelo. In his view, the difference in weight and natural size is not enough to overcome Crawford's advantages in ring IQ, adaptability, and timing. Mean Machine insists that Crawford is one of the most calculated fighters of his generation, able to adjust mid-fight and dismantle opponents regardless of their physical advantages. He describes Crawford as a fighter who can control pace, distance, and rhythm, elements that often matter more than sheer size. For him, this matchup favors the fighter with sharper tools, and that fighter is clearly Terence Crawford.
It's not good for Crawford. Canelo's too big. Right now, my position changed. I think Crawford is too fast and too smart for Canelo. Even Canelo is a good boxer. I'm not saying like nothing from not taking nothing from Canelo, but the way when you see he's too big, when you see Usyk fights and what Usyk did to the big guys like Joshua and Fury, so the size and that doesn't matter. I think the skill level matters, and Crawford, he gained weight, but I think he's gonna be even faster, and his head was good in the ring. He's boxing IQ just on top. So I would say 50-50, but right now I'm kind of leaning more to Crawford.
And that's just because of what you saw Usyk do?
It's not I'm just giving an example, size doesn't matter in the boxing. When they say Canelo is big and he's fighting 175, 168, and Crawford just moving from 147, 154. So I'm just putting an example that size doesn't matter, and that the fighter makes the fight. I think it's just that I see that Crawford's training and that he's big too right now. So he gained weight, but not and lots of people gain weight that sloppy weight, I would say fat, but he looked like strong, massively strong. So I think it's gonna be a good one.
How did Terence feel physically when you faced him? Like, how is his strength? Because yeah, a lot of people do make the point that Canelo's just maybe too big, too powerful for Crawford.
Um, Crawford, I wouldn't say like his punches was like super strong, but his timing and accuracy is the what makes difference.
Mean Machine draws a compelling comparison between the upcoming Terence Crawford versus Canelo Álvarez fight and Canelo's 2013 bout against Floyd Mayweather. At that time, Canelo was younger and less seasoned, and Mayweather dominated him with superior speed, defense, and ring generalship. Mean Machine believes Crawford has the ability to employ a similar strategy using movement, precision, and smart counterpunching to frustrate Canelo and neutralize his biggest weapons. However, he points out one crucial difference. Today, Canelo has far more experience than he did back then. Over the years, he has faced and defeated elite opponents, learned to adapt, and developed a level of patience that wasn't present during the Mayweather fight.